If you're looking to lose weight or gain weight, I think a great place to start is just by tracking your calorie intake. There's a lot of benefits to this. One is you learn a ton about food through the process. You learn a ton about the calorie content of different foods, the protein content of different foods. The second thing is you learn a lot about your own body's needs. So you learn how many calories you specifically need to eat to lose weight, to maintain your weight, or to gain weight, depending on your goal at the time. And then even more importantly is like when you combine those two things, when you combine knowing a lot about food and knowing the amount of calories that you need to eat for your goal, now calorie contents begin to have meaning. So like before someone really, let's say, tracks their calorie intake and figures out how many calories they need to eat to lose weight or to maintain weight, calorie numbers are just kind of random. Like we can look at like a menu and see something is 1,200 calories, but that doesn't really mean anything. Like, is that 30% of my day? Is that 50% of my day? Is that 80% of my day? So that's the cool thing is like when you start tracking, you start to realize, okay, like for me to lose weight, I need to eat 2,400 calories. And so then if you look at a menu and you see it says this thing has 1,200 calories, you're like, okay, that's 50% of my calories for the day if I want to lose weight that I can consume. Like then you can make the decision like, okay, is that worth it? Also, it makes certain desserts and things not seem like they're a big deal when sometimes if we haven't tracked, they can seem like a big deal. So for example, like let's say like somebody needs to eat 1,800 calories to lose weight. If they've tracked and they see, okay, if I have this chocolate bar that's 150 calories, knowing the information they know, they could be like, you know what, that's really not that big of a deal. Like I can still eat that little chocolate bar and still hit my protein, fruit, veggie, and fiber targets, still stay within my calories, it's all good. And there's no guilt around that. If somebody hasn't ever tracked their calorie intake and all they see is a chocolate bar, but to them like a chocolate bar is failure, then they're either not going to eat it and then potentially like binge on the food later, or they will eat it but they'll feel guilty about it when they really shouldn't feel guilty because it wasn't a big deal and they could still eat that thing and stay on track with their goals. So all that to say is tracking helps calorie contents have a meaning for you. And then the last thing is tracking can help bring awareness to certain habits that we have. So through tracking, we might realize, oh, like I eat when I'm bored or when I'm tired or when I'm nervous. We also might notice through tracking that, oh, the reason I eat so much at night is because I don't eat very much during the day. And so this awareness, one, gives us some insight into how we can correct the issue. And then two, like sometimes awareness itself is enough to correct the issue. So we could be like, oh wow, like before I tracked, I didn't realize I did this thing. Now I'm aware that I do this thing and I'm just not gonna do that thing anymore. And sometimes it really is that simple. So if you want to start tracking your calorie intake, one app that you can use to do this, it's the same app that I use, it's the same app that I have my clients use, it's called MyFitnessPal. There's a paid version and a free version. In my opinion, the free version works just fine. It's a great place to start. Just download MyFitnessPal and start kind of tracking your food on there. And I think the only thing I would add to that is, so basically and there's a bunch of apps, it's just I've used MyFitnessPal, I've had all my clients use MyFitnessPal, like I said, but most apps, and I know MyFitnessPal is like you'll input your information, height, weight, gender, all those things, and then you'll put in your goals. And based on that stuff, it will give you targets. So like, hey, you said you want to lose a pound per week. Here's how many calories that you need to eat to lose a pound per week. So I just want to say that those are just estimates. So the numbers that MyFitnessPal gives you is just an estimate. So it's a rough starting spot to figure out a more precise calorie goal, or to determine if the number that MyFitnessPal gave you is accurate. That is a topic for a different video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comment section below.